Scott and Laura Kellersberger settled down with their children on a small farm here in Kentucky. Drawing on their combined life experiences and the beauty of nature that surrounded them, they created a world of metal art and furniture. Let's take a look.
We actually started doing sign work, things like that. It was mainly a two-dimensional structures. And then we started kind of looking around us and you know, looking at the trees and the horses and things like that. And when you start to try to create the world around you, you start getting into likenesses that are not exactly 100% representative, okay? And I put it that way kind of roundabout because it kind of took a while for me to realize that I was doing art, because I never really considered myself an artist. And then other people started calling me an artist, and it's kind of one of those things, you hear it enough, and even my wife was like, wow, my husband the artist, who'd have thunk it? You know, and I guess you hear it enough and you kind of start believing it.
I would not have ever thought that Scott was an artist. It was always functional, very pragmatic. So when he started creating art and doing some of the three-dimensional pieces, it was kind of a surprise to me.
Shock.
Shock. But I mean, I think everybody's an artist. It just depends on what their take on it is. It just was something that was, you know, it just wasn't something I would have thought he would have got into. We both design, we both weld, we both cut. I mean, there really isn't, it just depends on who gets to what machine first. This is kind of our workspace for beating out things. If we have to beat out, we have crabs we shape and stuff. Anything we have to shape, we usually do it out here. And it's just an old oak stump that we have. It has creatures that live in it, so as I beat it, they may come out. But it works really good, and I'm just going to beat these part way, and then when we start to weld them, we'll shape them the rest of the way to give them their dimensional shape.
I'm a scrounge by nature, but any place that we can find items, friends of ours that have farms that have pieces that they're trying to they're trying to get rid of. You know, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Any place that we can incorporate pieces or materials that we've repurposed, we will.
People are coming back and they'll come to the booth and say, oh, I bought this piece last year and I want to buy this piece this year. And it's neat to see them actually coming back and creating a collection of the art.
And searching us out and actually telling their friends and that about pieces that we've done. And one of the most exciting things that we see is when somebody's talking about something or they're talking about an idea they have and they start off with this, can you? And it's like, ooh, cool. I get to play with somebody else's idea and I get to create what I want. When somebody comes to you and say, here's my general idea, I want you, the artist or the artist, to go ahead and take with this and run with it and decide what you can create out of my general idea. And then you create something. And initially, I really expected a lot of people to come back and say, well, that's kind of close to what I want, but can you do this, 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 and this? But what we found is, in the majority of the cases, people were like, that's awesome, when can you have it done? And so we got to play with somebody else's idea, and we were getting paid to do it. And that was awesome. This is a 4-foot bench that we've created, and we've used a train motif. And we've done different trains. We've done from steam locomotives. We've done, this is more of a mid-period. And then we've also done modern diesel electric locomotives. And this, my wife calls this forever furniture, the furniture your kids will fight over. And this piece right here, we used this was kind of an experiment. We said, let's see what we can do and what we can build with as many repurposed pieces or found objects or recycled objects as we can possibly do. And we are able to create a piece that says, kind of pictorially from the top to the bottom, it says the World Equestrian Games, ringing in the World Equestrian Games. The neatest commissioned piece is the piece I'm working on at the time, because everything is new. I mean, I don't want to get into, and I think Laura agrees with this a lot, I don't want to do production work. I don't want to do 50 or 100 of something. Now, if somebody comes up to me and they want me to do 100 of something, you know, we'll probably have to consider it and maybe do it. But to actually be able to take a piece and constantly doing new things, new ideas, generating new techniques, and basically taking new experiences and making them out of fire and metal, that's awesome. It's really nice and it's gratifying to have somebody say, wow, I really like that, that's really ingenious, we really like the way it looks and that. But one of the bigger compliments, and probably the ultimate compliment, is when somebody actually purchases a piece or commissions a piece, and then you take that piece and not only do they look at you when they're talking to you face to face, but they actually want to have a piece of that work, and they want to have a piece of you at their home where they see it on a daily basis and they can reflect on it. And I think it's not a single incident, but that's kind of the most gratifying thing, and the compliment that I see is when somebody actually says, yes, I like it, I appreciate it, and I want it.